There's really no place to start, but there's always a place to finish, and it seems to be in the same place.
I think Diana Taurasi had it wrong. I think she was the reality. I think Caitlin, they should call her the reality.
Diana Taurasi, the iconic player for the Phoenix Mercury, is officially retiring at 42. Interestingly, the same rookie she once taunted, Caitlin Clark, is the one who may have nudged her toward this decision. It's been coming if you've been following her season. While Taurasi didn't immediately announce her retirement, after facing criticism for her comments about Clark, she's now decided to step back. No one is questioning her legendary status, but let's be honest, those remarks about Clark didn't land well and ultimately backfired.
And then when you throw on the animus and the jealousy and the media being against her.
Caitlin Clark didn't just brush off the insult. She came back and dominated the Phoenix Mercury, proving Diana Taurasi completely wrong. But what exactly did Clark do that made Taurasi reconsider her entire career? Why did Diana underestimate her so much, and how did Clark respond to it all? Let's break it down, because you won't hear the full story anywhere else. Diana Taurasi, a name that's become synonymous with Wnba greatness, sparked one of the league's biggest conversations when she told Caitlin, "Reality is coming." This wasn't a friendly, "Welcome to the big leagues" comment. No, it was more like Taurasi, sitting comfortably in her throne, sizing up the newcomer and dropping a bold statement during an ESPN interview with Scott Van Pelt. The message? I see you, but I've been dominating this game while you were still fine-tuning your jump shot at Iowa.
Where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Taurasi's confidence came through loud and clear in that interview. She wasn't shy about letting everyone know that, while Caitlin Clark might be the next big thing, the WNBA is on another level. It's not about showing off flashy moves against college teams. The WNBA is packed with seasoned pros who've been grinding for years. Diana gave off serious, "I've been through it all" vibes, and when she said Clark would be facing grown women, she wasn't talking about a casual meetup. She was talking about hard-fought battles, intense physicality, and a grueling schedule. Here's the twist. That same veteran was taken down by Clark. Was Taurasi just offering some advice, or was there more to it? Clark's rapid rise in the spotlight may have felt like a challenge to Taurasi's legacy. In one breath, Diana was the face of the league, and in the next, all the buzz was about Clark being the future of women's basketball. Taurasi spent over 2 decades shaping the WNBA, and now this rookie from Iowa was suddenly taking center stage. It's easy to see why things got tense.
I'm not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie. And, it might take a little bit longer for some people.
Caitlin isn't just another rookie who needs time to prove herself. She stormed into the league and immediately stood out like no one else. The buzz around her is off the charts. Everywhere you turn, it's all about Caitlin. But the real question is, was Diana more worried about whether Clark could handle the WNBA, or was she grappling with her own career winding down? Let's be honest, no matter how many three-pointers Taurasi sinks or how many defenders she blows past, time catches up with everyone. Caitlin's rise felt like a reminder that the next generation is already knocking on the door. Whether Diana likes it or not, the narrative of passing the torch is becoming unavoidable.
That's just the arrogance of the vets, and they say we all had a learning curve, and you're going to come in and you're going to be fine.
And the media? They're definitely not making things easier. At this point, they've practically turned Caitlin Clark into a living legend, calling her the future of women's basketball and probably planning murals in her honor. Caitlin, meanwhile, isn't just knocking on the door. She's kicked it wide open. Whether Diana likes it or not, Clark isn't waiting for anyone's approval to claim her place in the spotlight. She's here, and if Diana's feeling some type of way about it, well, that's only natural. After all, she's human too.
The Caitlin Clark, she is obviously the superstar of women's college basketball in this hour. She is the most talked about player in women's basketball, period. WNBA or college.
August 15th, 2024 became a historic day in basketball. The world didn't just tune in for any ordinary WNBA game. This was the Indiana Fever versus the Phoenix Mercury, but it was far from a typical matchup. This was the highly anticipated showdown between rookie sensation Caitlin Clark and the legendary Diana Taurasi. It wasn't just a game, it was a full-blown basketball drama. with fans everywhere glued to their screens for this epic clash of generations.
Asked about her anticipation of facing Clark for the first time, Taurasi only had 4 words.
Thoughts going to facing Caitlin Clark for the first time on Sunday?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Before the game, Taurasi seemed surprisingly relaxed, almost too relaxed. You'd expect her to be hyped up for what everyone knew would be a battle, but when asked about facing Caitlin Clark, she just smiled and said, "It'll be fun." Fun? Where was the usual intensity? Where was the signature Taurasi fire and smack talk? The player known for taking every game personally suddenly seemed like she was gearing up for a casual run at the local gym. Fans couldn't help but think, "Diana, are you forgetting this is supposed to be the matchup?" The vibe was off and people noticed. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark wasn't here to mess around. She's now 4-0 against Taurasi in the WNBA. And let's not forget she's gone up against 2 other Olympians on that same Phoenix Mercury squad. Anyone questioning whether she should have made Team USA is clearly out of touch. From the moment the game started, Clark had that look in her eye. You know, the look of someone who wasn't just playing to compete, but to dominate. And dominate she did. By the final buzzer, she was just 1 rebound and 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Let that sink in. 40 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. And the way she did it. Unreal. She was sinking deep threes like they were layups, practically toying with the defense. Then came the moment that everyone's still talking about. With under 2 minutes to go, and the Fever barely holding on to their lead, Clark strolled across half court, took 1 quick glance at the defense, and confidently pulled up from the logo. Swish. The crowd erupted, but Clark? She was calm as ever. She turned, locked eyes with Taurasi, and you could almost hear her saying, "Yeah, this is my lead now." Taurasi had nothing but admiration for her after the game, but the real shocker came moments later. Just as the media was buzzing about Clark's incredible performance, Taurasi stepped into the press conference and dropped a bombshell no one saw coming. "It's been an amazing ride," she said, her voice breaking slightly, "but maybe it's time to step aside." Wait, what? No big announcement? No farewell tour? Just like that, Diana hinted she might be done. The room fell silent as reporters tried to process the news.
Clark races down the floor, goes right by Griner, is slapped in the face, but still gets another 3-point play the old-fashioned way. That's 10 points for number 22, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter.
Look, I'm not pissed to the point where I'm annoyed and I'm going to call people out their names, or especially people that I love, like the person I'm about to talk about in a few minutes. She struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark...
Demanding Cheryl Swoops be fired to protect Caitlin Clark. But what's really fueling his outrage? It's a showdown between the league's old guard and its rising stars.
You got people in a room.
Yeah.
If you got a bunch of dudes in a room and says, "Let's fuck up the WNBA," we couldn't have came up a master plan with these women.
Can you believe how wild this is getting? Barkley's clearly aiming right at Cheryl Swoops.
Girl is incredible. What she did in college for women's basketball, what she's doing in the WNBA.
She turned the Fever were 1-8. They have a winning record now.
But the number of attention, eyeballs she's brought to college and the pros, and for these women to have this petty jealousness.
I totally agree. The WNBA is at a critical turning point and needs to act fast. On one side, you've got legends like Swoops who built the league, and on the other, rising stars like Clark, drawing fresh energy in fans. Here's the catch. If the WNBA doesn't handle this right,
yourself, damn, what is going on here? And
well, you got accused of that stuff too, with the older players being resentful of the new generation. It's kind of part of the basketball process. Everybody thinks their generation's the best.
No. Anytime we say something about guys, it ain't the old get off my lawn guy.
Yeah.
But the stuff toward her is petty and jealous.
Fans, sponsors, and even the next wave of players. Time's running out, and the entire basketball world is watching Caitlin Clark's next move.
And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. And now when I watch her, two things I like. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.